Let's go back 100 years to take an honest look at how Einstein corrected for the problems with Newton's theory. His insight was correct about Newtonian's attraction as it was understood at the time. It was in conflict by traveling faster than the speed of light between the sun and the outer planets. Until Einstein pointed out this issue, it was not a concern among researchers. He knew nothing could be conducted faster than light travels, and it was a major concern of his. At that time, a static universe was the predominant theory. Yet Einstein understood that even a small amount of motion by the sun created problems with its connection to all planets, especially the outer planets. As Gary sees it, Einstein was not trying to correct for as much motion as is now known. Today's data about the motion of stars in our galaxy would surely have altered his analysis because his formula cannot even hold these stars to their rotating galaxies. The following description is how Einstein developed his geometric formula after he envisioned the curvature of space. He started with a concept that was in place waiting for the planet's orbits to arrive. This left no time delay problems concerning the outer planets. He used all available data from our solar system, including the distance and velocity of the known orbits. Then he introduced the estimated mass and density of our sun. Using a graph, he plotted the velocity and distances of the planet's orbits around the sun. The graph of all 8 planets shows a distance dimension of up to 3 billion miles to include Neptune. The graph of the inner planets shows a maximum distance of 200 million miles. The velocity scales are the same, so even though the graphs look quite a bit different, they are presenting the same information. He revealed the inverse of the curvature he was imaging by drawing a line connecting the planet's positions, then duplicating this information on the far side of the graph to account for their entire orbit. By inverting this graph, Einstein produced the preliminary outline of his curvature in our solar system. This allowed him to then create a 3D version of his curvature of space. The addition of his vision that gravity altered time made this 3D version into the curvature of space-time. Einstein was then able to complete the mathematic geometric formula for the general theory of relativity. This is a very simplified presentation of the extremely complex process that Einstein completed. It's the way Einstein reverse engineered how gravity functions while not needing to travel faster than the speed of light. He started with the answers to the problem, which was the data from our solar system. Then he developed his formula to reproduce the distances and velocities. This ensured his outcomes are always correct in our solar system and instances like it. This also solved the extra attraction and speed of Mercury during perihelion that was perturbing its orbit. Einstein's prediction of light curving along the arc of space-time was confirmed during an eclipse 4 years after general relativity was published. This cemented space-time in the foundation of gravitational theory. We will explain how what Einstein saw as frame dragging was the actual cause of this lensing. We will also show alternate explanations for gravitational waves and alterations to time. Prior to 1900, outer space was thought to contain the ether. The ether was a term used to explain all that was unknown about outer space and the actions of light and gravity. Gravity's portion sounds a lot like how dark matter is treated now. When the luminous ether was disproven, its gravitational contribution was also forgotten. Less than 20 years after Einstein published general relativity, observations of distant galaxies pointed out that his formula did not contain enough attraction to hold these galaxies together at the speeds they were rotating. At this point, it was suggested that dark matter be added to supplement general relativity with this unforeseen attraction. They could have reinstituted the term ether, but by then, They were just trying to add additional attraction to fix the shortfall of general relativity. Einstein saw space as being completely empty except for other matter. Therefore, there was nothing to interfere with the glide path of orbits, which allowed them to continue perpetually along the curvature of space-time. The data presented by how galaxies work points out that what appears to be empty space is actually populated by multiple particles. One of these particles is the free graviton. These free gravitons are manipulated by the influence of mass, and they form moving reservoirs that rotate around the central mass of each galaxy. The reservoir of free gravitons presents an alternate explanation for the faster than the speed of light issue that Einstein was trying to solve in our solar system. This is where physics answers the question presented by this series, Heretic or Visionary, with a resounding heretic. Because questioning a decision by Einstein that is at the foundation of gravitational theory is not a welcomed concept in physics communities. It seems that researchers prefer to keep their blinders on and ignore the true problem that is within general relativity.